Valar Morghulis.
8,000 unsullied, 2,000 second sons.
Would that be enough to take King's Landing?
One stone crumbles and another takes its place.
He sits the throne like he was born to it.
Why does he feel responsible for you?
What wife would do for you the things I've done for you?
What the hell are you doing?
You mustn't let anything stop you.
You move at sundown.
What kind of show establishes a brilliantly evil character only to gruesomely murder them a week later? Only the best frickin' show on television, Game of Thrones, that's what. Carl Tanner from Gin Alley met his match in a new power move that we're going to call the Kiss of Steel. We've just watched first of his name, the 5th episode of Season 4. Long live King Tommen! On this week's Thronecast, Rachel meets the man with no motive, Aidan Gillen, Lord Peter Littlefinger Baelish. We take a look inside the episode.
Neither woman trusts each other as far as they can throw them.
We go forward, or is it backwards in time with Elio and Linda as we discuss Bran's vision and what the heck was going on with Jojen's flaming hand. And for those of you who simply can't wait a week, we bring you a sneak peek of the next episode. Close your eyes. Now, it's our mid-season special, so we're going to recap some classic scenes with Game of Thrones' biggest celebrity superfan, Lord Jonathan of Ross. That's all on Thronecast, your water-dancing, armour-wearing, rabbit-burning fan show for Game of Thrones on Sky Atlantic HD, the home of Thrones. Rachel and Jonathan, Valar Morghulis.
Valar Dahadis, Jamie.
So that means all men must die.
Yeah, that's right.
And that means all men must serve. There you go. But I only do the English, I'm sorry. Because I think you're being a bit racist.
Jonathan, what is it you love so much about Game of Thrones?
In a nutshell, the characters. I think that's the key of all great drama. It's a great setting, it's a great world, it's great fantasy, but ultimately, unless you care about the people and believe in the people, you're not going to go along with it, and that's what I love about it. You know, there's such great characters, so vividly drawn, so much intrigue, and due to the brilliant nature of the writing, you know, even people who you initially think you hate or dislike, you will eventually find that, you know, 2 or 3 episodes down the line, you can see their side of it.
Yeah.
You know, with the probable exception of Joffrey, apart from him, everyone else I think we got on board with. Like I don't like Cersei, OK? I don't like Cersei. I'll put it right out there. My wife really likes Cersei. All the girls in the family like Cersei.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, they're tired of this patriarchal nonsense that we inflict on them. They like seeing a strong woman getting up there.
Is that what you think, Rachel?
I really like Cersei as well, and I love Jamie. He's gone up and down, and obviously he was evil.
Yeah, very
and
quickly
then
as
He went up and down with her in front of Joffrey, still cold corpse.
That scene changed everything, and now I don't know what to think.
Let's discuss the episode we just watched very, very briefly. Just when we thought Daenerys was poised to kind of swoop in and take over the 7 kingdoms, she backtracked and decided just to stay put where she was and rule for a bit.
OK, which is a duller storyline for us, but in the long term, I suspect will show her, A, to be the best person of all of those fighting for the throne.
She's earning the right to rule.
She's saying, I'm choosing to rule over the glory, and I'm choosing the dull tedium of the kind of bureaucracy, the housekeeping. You know, the...
and I think it shows that she actually cares for those people. Like, her face, when they told her about Yunkai and Astapor, dropped, and I think she was like, oh, what have I done? She started all this off, and now she's got to finish it.
You've got to go back and actually make it work, rather than just go, you know, drop the hand grenade of dragons in there and then run off happily into the sunset.
Speaking of dragons, where the hell are they?
Where are they? Well, I think they've been giving her a lot of jip recently, so I think she's maybe got them on a curfew.
Yeah, but they're getting tetchy, they're getting naughty. Those dragons, you can't control a dragon. It's like a man, I've told you this before. You can't change a man, all right? Don't go looking for the man you want him to be, settle for the one he is. Yeah. Same as a dragon.
Good point, good point.
Thank you.
You take note of that, Rachel.
I'm here all week.
Are we still enjoying Daenerys' storyline?
Yes!
For me, I'm finding it a bit tedious.
I'm finding it tedious the fact that she's no longer fully naked. I mean, we look back to the glory days of the first series and we think fully naked on a regular basis. Now, always in an outfit. I was at a Comic-Con when George R.R. Martin was hosting his own panel with them there, and she's on the stage, and George, who's a lovable but slightly weird bloke, is sitting there chuckling away and says that he's in charge of the show, and not only as a producer but also as he said his 14-year-old self is in charge of boobs on the show. And all of the women on the panel kept going, so what about that outfit? what about that outfit we put you in? It was a bit more, covered you up more than the one I wrote in the book. And the women just didn't know what to say. They go, yes, yes, I'm pleased. It was getting a bit chilly.
So we're mid-season. This week we're celebrating by enjoying some classic Game of Thrones scenes. We asked you guys before to tweet and Facebook your favourites. Rachel, what's everyone been saying online?
We've got some very good ones. The majority of people are voting for Joffrey's death.
Of course.
Obviously, people are saying easy. Joffrey dying, smiley face.
I did feel sorry for him a little bit when he was choking up with all the bleh coming out.
He reverted back to being just a little boy.
Mummy's little boy.
We had a lot of votes for classic Hound lines, including I'll eat every effing chicken in here.
I'm really worried about how that storyline's going to end.
I don't want him to die.
Is she going to forgive him ever?
I hope
or
so.
Is she going to finish him off?
I thought she had, and then in this episode, she just tagged it on.
He's still on her list.
Yeah, he's still there.
We've got that classic Marjorie line at the Purple Wedding where she says, "Oh, look, the pie."
The pie.
It's not distracting anyone. This nudity might not please you. Naked Hodor.
Love Naked Hodor.
Everyone loves
because
Naked Hodor.
when I get up and go to the toilet in the middle of the night, that's what I look like.
Yeah.
And actually, that's all I'm capable of doing. Hodor.
And finally, of course, when Daenerys unleashes the dragon, Dracarys.
Oh, that was great when she finally did it
Finally.
and the horrible man gets burned. And
That was
everyone
Good choices. Good choices. Now, we've all chosen one, but we've only got time for one each, which is annoying, because we could have been here all night. Jonathan, which scene did you choose?
Too many to choose from. I've gone with one of the most romantic moments so far, and a real kind of crowd pleaser is when Jaime returned, when he could have kept going, he returned to rescue Brienne from the bear. Because Game of Thrones doesn't often give that to you. It doesn't often give you what you want.
Yeah, that's
Normally
true.
gives you what you don't expect and what you think you hate and you're upset about. But here it was a real kind of one of the very few crowd-pleasing moments that didn't result with a horrible person being murdered.
Perfect. Well, let's have a look at it right now.
Get behind me.
Will not.
Good scene.
Great moment.
Had everything.
Just needed some romantic music at the end as they walk off, like, you know, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
That's in
something like that.
Brienne in a dress.
Do you think that Brienne loves Jaime?
I think Brienne, I think she probably does love him, but I mean, she's kind of like torn anyway because she's a woman of her word and she has to serve the person she's agreed to serve. She's bound by the kind of rules of being a knight, so therefore she has to do that. So I think she is compromised whatever she does, and whether or not, I mean, I get the feeling that Jaime is finally going off Cersei a little bit, you know, seeing her for what she might be and what she's become. Perhaps.
Hateful woman.
Well, you know, a vengeful woman, perhaps, a downtrodden woman. But she's an interesting character. So I don't know whether it's going to go in the direction that we might hope it to go through.
It might be a doomed relationship.
I think it is.
Way.
I think it's they're star-crossed lovers.
There are bloody so many doomed relationships there, aren't there?
I know.
Aren't all relationships doomed ultimately?
They are one way or another. We've always got to say goodbye to the one we love.
Eventually.
God, this is cheery.
Hopefully with all our hands and feet left, though, unlike the people in Game of Thrones.
Rachel, what's your scene?
So my scene is the call to battle by Tyrion at the Battle of the Blackwater.
OK, good scene.
Joffrey has lamed out of battle, and the men of King's Landing, just the ordinary men, they're terrified, they need to be led, and there's no one there to lead them. And then this happens.
Oh, let's have a look.
Don't fight for your king, and don't fight for his kingdoms. Don't fight for honor, don't fight for glory. Don't fight for riches, because he won't get any. This is your city Stannis means to sack. That's your gate he's ramming. If he gets in, it will be your houses he burns. Your gold he steals. Your women he will rape. Those are brave men knocking at our door. Let's go kill them.
Wow, that was a rousing Braveheart-type speech.
But it's great, because even at the end there, you see Dinklage, you know, such a great performance. Even there, he's still doubting himself. He's done what he needed to do to rally the forces, get them out, but he's still thinking...
His arse is still going.
We're probably done for, but I've got to do it.
Will he ever find peace and happiness, though? Shay's over in Pentos.
I think maybe he will. They're so lovely together, and he's just trying to protect
She
him.
doesn't deserve him anymore.
He sent her. He said all those horrible things to her.
She doesn't deserve him.
She had no choice.
She didn't even see... She's got to be an idiot. If you couldn't see why he was doing it...
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
Don't send me away. Don't send me away. It's like clearly he's sending you away so you don't wind up like everyone else in this family.
Dead. Now, they were all great choices, but I'm really sorry. I've reserved...
You've trumped both of us,
I've trumped both of you, because my scene is Ned's execution, mainly because for the first series, you know, no one really knew, those who hadn't read the books, no one really knew what Game of Thrones was all about.
It was a game changer.
Let's have a look. The language that came out of my wife's mouth when that happened could have turned my hair grey. That's what set it off. That's one of the best moments I think that we've ever seen on television.
I wish you hadn't shown us again. I'm all upset now.
I feel really upset.
With you? Baby Aria.
What kind of a person are you?
It's really, really shocking.
It's still shocking.
I hate you now.
Go away!
But I only just got over that.
No, hold on a minute.
Why don't you show us a red wedding and cheer us right up?
It set the scene for the whole of the series.
It did.
Nothing that happens now would have happened had Ned not died.
That was the moment when you thought that you knew what Game of Thrones was going to be.
Yeah.
You thought it was going to be the story of this ascending king or the story of this good man, and then you were like, oh no, it's not. He's dead.
I spent about 4 weeks thinking he was going to come back.
Me too.
I didn't believe he was dead. I thought, well, he's going to be like...
They're going to have found some way...
He's going to be a pixie or something.
Now, there are so many more scenes we could discuss. We could be here all day, but we're out of time. Jonathan, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
After the break, the Game of Thrones cast take us inside the episode.
I chat exclusively with the King of Chaos, Littlefinger.
Our superfans Elio and Linda are here to chat about Bran's vision and Jojen's poor attempt at fire safety.
And we hit you with a dose of next week's episode.
Welcome back to Thronecast on Sky Atlantic HD. One character that we can't get enough of is the scheming Lord Peter Littlefinger Baelish.
Well, I know one character that cannot get enough of him. Lysa.
She enjoyed that.
Oh, those sex screams are going to be etched into my brain for eternity.
I know, put Sansa right off her lemon drizzle cake.
She loves those cakes. She cannot get enough of them.
You've got to feel sorry for Sansa. She's been rescued from the scene of the crime, brought to the Vale, buttered up with lemon cakes, and then told she's going to marry that little horrible thing, her first cousin, Robin.
Ugh.
Littlefinger's been playing a long game, though, right?
He has got so much going on. So we found out he poisoned Jon Arryn, which means that he set the whole thing in motion.
The whole Game of Thrones.
Robert wouldn't have come to Winterfell. Ned wouldn't have been the Hand. Bran wouldn't have lost his legs. It's so exciting. I was lucky enough to actually meet Aidan Gillen, and the casting was perfect on this. He was just as thoughtful, just as clever as Littlefinger himself. Aidan Gillen, Lord Peter Littlefinger Baelish, welcome to Thronecast.
Thank you, it's lovely to be here.
Were you slightly shocked at Littlefinger's treatment of Ros at the end of Series 3? I was, because I thought of him as quite a mixed character, you know, with obviously some bad things, some good things, and then that seemed quite evil. Do you think of yourself as playing an evil character or more complex than that?
I mean, that was as much Joffrey there. That was Joffrey pulling triggers.
It was, but I guess he knew that was going to happen.
I never thought of Littlefinger as a purely evil character. There were obvious characteristics that, you know, you know, you would say, oh, this is a villain, this is a devious character or a manipulator, which he is, I guess, all of those things, but hopefully there's more to it than that. I don't think of the character as being essentially evil, just practical and not afraid to do what needs to be done. Littlefinger holds a lot back. He's very intriguing and he's obviously an excellent schemer. Do you think that's his biggest strength? Do you think that's his power? He knows how to play things, timing. You know, he is a schemer. He's quite political, quite. I mean, you can be a politician, but you can be a bad politician. It's all about the timing. He seems like a character who's got, almost as if he's got a line of dominoes in a line and he just sets one off, but what he wants to happen is at the end. As if he's got an incredibly careful, overarching plan. Do you think that's true? It is true, yeah. There are several lines of dominoes going off in several directions. Intersecting. Intersecting, yeah, just like on Record Breakers. They really aren't short-term, you know, I flick this domino here and tomorrow that domino over there is going to go on. It's ingenious and risky. He loves all that, of course. And it's intergenerational. You know, it's not just, I'm not thinking about tomorrow or the next day, you know. It's, you gotta think about, you know, way down the road. If he had to choose between, say, the White Walkers, the ice, and Daenerys, the dragons, the fire, do you know which one he might side with?
There's no question there, you know. Daenerys, obviously. I would happily work with her. I don't need to be in charge. White Walkers, on the other hand, interesting bunch.
They've got their own skills
then it's all about, you know, battles and trying to take stuff over. It's all like, it's too cold anyway. The Mediterranean climate suits Littlefinger. You know, he's born away off on those cold, wet islands.
So it would almost be a homecoming if that did happen.
Yeah. Don't think Littlefinger wants a homecoming, though. He's constantly kind of going somewhere else and looking for other things and trying to get away from just memories.
Wow, he was pretty special.
Yeah.
I'm very, very jealous. His accent was toned down slightly for that as well.
His accent was uniform throughout.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, it must be a problem that all actors have, I imagine, playing a part for so long.
Yeah.
He couldn't decide whether he was referring to Littlefinger in the third person or whether it was me. He kept going, well, Littlefinger did this, and then, well, me and I.
It's like he's melding into one person.
Oh, creepy.
Time to go inside this week's episode, first of his name.
Long may he reign! Long may he reign!
When it comes to psychological manipulation, which no matter how nice and sincere a person Marjorie is her heart, she's getting quite good at, then, you know, it should be easier with a younger brother who seems to be quite a sincere, genuine human being. But of course, the big hurdle will be Cersei. I think there is a begrudging respect between Marjorie and Cersei, and it's just like a small moment of cathartic comparison, understanding.
I think that's her game. Again, you know, is to kind of elicit some sense of friendship from her.
Your Grace? There he is. Long may he reign. Long may he reign.
You know, and also she knows how beautiful Marjorie is. She knows she's smart and a politician, and she doesn't want to lose another son. You know, she's watched Joffrey be sucked in by it.
And in a way, it's a shame, because you think, well, if Cersei and Marjorie had become friends and team players, then, you know, it could be quite different story. It's almost as if circumstances around them force them to be enemies.
He will need help if he's going to rule well. He has you. A mother is not enough. You're still interested in being queen, I take it. After all that's happened.
Definitely Marjorie is surprised when Cersei offers her son, but she doesn't trust her as far, neither woman trusts each other as far as they can throw them. So it's like, okay, she's letting me marry him, why?
What happened to Jojen's hand at the end? That was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Really strange. I have a theory.
Go on.
I think,
hit me with it.
I think that it's a vision looking forward to his death. I think he's going to burn in death. A bit dark.
Oh, OK. My theory on that is that not only is he predicting the future, but he can shape it as well, because he told Carl Tanner that he saw that he was going to burn, but then actually, did he just decide that he was going to burn and then kind of saw his hands on fire?
Make it happen.
Who knows? Two people that have probably got a bit of a better theory than us two novices, Elio and Linda. Elio and Linda, are you there?
Yes, we are.
What are your theories on the Jojen flaming hand scene?
We'd have to go with the first option here, that this may very well have something to do with Jojen's eventual fate, because from the books we know that he does say things like, this is not the day that I die, so he's supposed to have some knowledge about his future.
Well, we saw him in that episode telling Bran that this is not the end, so...
Yes.
Absolutely. It's kind of a scary thing that this young youth kind of knows the end for his own life, his own story. And fire, of course, seems a very scary way to die, but it might not be as straightforward as him being burned up alive. It could be a vision of himself being burned as a white, resurrected by the others into one of her soldiers, and someone burns him then. It's not quite clear what the end is.
Well, we know 3 things that could burn him quite easily. Could he possibly be
3 massive winged things.
Could he be possibly heading for a dragon-style pyre?
Not an impossibility.
Dragon barbecue.
Oh.
And are these visions that Jojen's having, are they the past or are they the future?
Well, I'd say that Jojen and Bran as well have visions that sort of run from past to future, but time is sort of a single continuum and they can kind of get glimpses of it along the whole length of it. There is a real question. Is there any control? Is there any free will in the universe of Game of Thrones? It is very philosophical and it's not something that's absolutely clear.
OK, there's someone who wants to meet you. He's still here. Jonathan, please meet Elio and Linda.
Elio, Linda, nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Very nice to meet you too.
You are the big experts.
We try to be.
Yeah.
You got theory.
I've got many theories, but here's one I'll share with you. Bran, who's already inhabiting Hodor occasionally when he needs to, I've got the feeling that he will leave his slightly damaged body, of course, and inhabit Hodor full-time, wearing him like you would a suit made of thick meat, and dance around in it, not only giving him great power, but also finally allowing Hodor to talk eloquently of love and all matters concerning humankind.
What do you think to that?
I think it's an excellent theory. It could be Brandor.
Brandor?
Yes.
Yeah. He's a new name.
Yeah, or Hobran.
They don't sound too impressed with that, with your theory.
I think they were being super polite.
Elio and Linda, thank you very much. Can we speak to you next week? Is that OK?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
If at home you don't want to see a teaser of next week's episode, The Laws of Gods and Men, look away now.
I'm here for Theon Greyjoy.
This is turning into a lovely evening.
And you feel your blood gives you a claim on our good more than any man living.
She has conquered the city and rules as its queen.
Everybody is interested in something.
I've always hated Tyrion.
He killed his king.
This isn't a trial, it's a farce.
Do you wish to confess?